Mario.
Yo, it's the Comfy Couch Cast. I'm Grayson Voorhees. Who are you guys?
I'm Shane.
I'm CatBit.
I'm random. I got nothing planned.
That's everyone. We're just like, hello, I'm Shane.
Yeah.
How are you today?
But yeah, I'm Grayson. Welcome back. It's been a while since we lost you in Vietnam.
Yeah, they took my shins on like Cotton Hill.
Did you kill 50 men?
Yeah, I killed 50 men.
Did you have a bunch of friends with you? Fatty, Stinky, and Brooklyn?
Yeah, Fatty in Brooklyn.
Yeah,
I'm so sorry.
They're gone. R.I.P.
You know who else is gone? Is Mario. He's dead, apparently.
Oh yeah, Mario.
Something happened to Charles Martinet?
No, the Mario the character.
Oh, okay.
I hope not. I hope Charles Martinet never dies.
No, me neither.
He's immortal.
You know who should die, though, is some higher-ups in Nintendo. I mean, just saying.
Oh yeah, the guy who's currently running Nintendo with a stupid bowl haircut.
Who?
So the guy that replaced the Wok, that's who I'm talking about.
You know, I feel like Nintendo has been kind of that Futurama joke, but the opposite. I'm surprised how unsuccessful Nintendo has been when Satoru Iwata died.
I would say though, like, financially the Switch has been successful, but like with everything else though, Nintendo's been doing like some really shady shit that's been getting under my skin as of late, and I kind of want to.
And the reason why they can do it is because they're number one. They're on top again now.
So yeah, this is the FU Nintendo podcast. We're gonna be talking about how much FU Nintendo has been.
Someone has to do it.
Yeah.
More like
Yeah.
Nintendo shit cube.
We call it the Nintendo shit because it's a piece of fucking shit.
Cookie.
Yeah, no, I'd rather play on the Game Sphere instead anyway. Fuck Nintendo.
Or a Sega Dreamcast.
Yo, that
PlayStation.
also that Wii. I mean, come on, the Wii that kind of looked like a dildo.
Dad Warden, we miss you so.
We all about that PS triple.
You know what I appreciate about PlayStation over Xbox?
What?
They just label their systems in order, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
360, one Series X.
That's like evolution, but backwards.
It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
whenever Apple did that whole, like, the iPhone 1, iPhone 2, 3, 4, and then just some random letters. It's like, what is this crap? What are you doing?
I'm kind of grateful
So,
they're not
like,
doing like
6
Roman numerals or something.
Like I had a 6S for a while, I think.
Whatever
6X.
happened
Why is it called a 6X? Like, what are the meaning of the numbers?
No, not a 6X, a 6S.
Like, I meant to say, what's the meaning of the letters? Why do they keep doing that?
Oh, it's weird.
I thought that the last time I'd ever seen numbers and letters hooking up 11th grade algebra. Why am I seeing this shit in my iPhone?
It's like, who's naming these numbers? Sheldon Cooper?
I know you just said Sheldon Cooper, but for a second I genuinely thought you said Harold and Kumar.
God damn.
Speaking
Who
of
the hell
Harold
is
and
Harold
Kumar.
and Kumar?
Oh no, the dudes they go to White Castle, and Neil Patrick Harris is there for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't know this reference.
You've never seen those movies? You've never heard of Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle?
Oh no, those are
wait,
great.
I think I've seen, like, the one guy in that one Apu, because he was like, I always get compared, Kumar is like, whenever you call be compared to Kumar than Apu, it's like, I'd like to be compared to Apu, because Apu's cool, you're in blue.
Dude, Apu Rex. Apu's fucking cooler than you, and your wife wants to bang Apu instead of you. That's true. It's
Yeah.
all true.
So anyways, yeah, Nintendo's kind of crappy lately.
Yeah.
So speaking of Nintendo, I've been noticing a lot recently that they have like a tactic being half-assed, because I've been playing Animal Crossing New Horizons recently. Like, I still love it, but it kind of upsets me that they got rid of certain things that made the games fun and not upgraded. They just didn't bother. It's like, the hell. The fact that you can't upgrade your house more, I always forget that the first floor you can upgrade all the way, but the rest you can't. It's like, why?
I think, like, for me, though, and this kind of relates to Animal Crossing, is that these random updates we've been getting, like the Christmas update or the Thanksgiving update, like, stuff that should have been on the game since day one, they're being released months later, and they're being announced as, like, free updates.
I've always felt like New Horizon was always just like 2 steps forward, but like 3 steps back.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, they have all this cool stuff, but then you should have more cool things. You know, like, I find it cool if they could, like, make your house bigger, like, have 3 floors, you know? Or there's a store. I can't stand the store in that game because you can only get, like, 4 items. and half the time, the majority of the time, it's just items you don't really want in your house.
Hell, like the 3DS one, New Leaf, like had a huge store, like it had 3 floors.
Yeah, and that was the best part. And like here, it's just like you only upgrade it once. But it's like, isn't the whole point of Animal Crossing is progression on your home and the buildings you make? It's like, what the hell is all this?
Yeah, like you're supposed to earn it.
This kind of makes me a little jealous that I never played Animal Crossing until New Horizons now.
Don't worry, you're fine. It's a lot of people too, but it's still a good game. But
Yeah.
Like they've done it better, like a little more back then.
True. I know they're not going to do this because Nintendo also has a habit of thinking that, listen, we don't really care if it's crap or not. People are still going to buy it. That's all that really matters.
Yeah, I've noticed that a lot, and like that's a really fucking horrible mindset to like have. But like these Nintendo fans, like they don't call it out, and they would still buy it even though they know that it's half-assed.
Yeah, and like the thing that's even scummier is that you can't even call out this behavior, otherwise they're gonna call you a toxic, entitled fanboy.
It's like, wait, how's that intoxicated if you're like pointing out the bullcrap Nintendo's doing?
There are some things that Nintendo does regarding like this shit, and like you can't even call them out or like be upset with it, or it's like Nintendroids will just like call you out on it.
Is that what they're called?
Yeah, Nintendroids. That's what Cat Icarus called me the other day.
Wait, Cat Icarus called you a Nintendroid?
Yeah.
What did you do to be called that?
I said that I like the Wii U more than the PS3.
Ouch.
To be fair, that is something that somebody should make fun of you for, because that is a shit opinion.
I'm sorry.
I mainly like the Wii U mainly because it didn't break on me.
The only Wii U game that I played that I really loved was Tropical Freeze. That's a great game.
No, Tropical Freeze is a really great game, but it's
That was
like
Pikmin 3. In fact, you ever had that moment where you bought a console for one game?
Mario 3D World was kind of like one of the reasons as to why. I
Oh
bought
wait,
the Wii.
you want to hear something? I actually did buy a console for one game.
Which
What was
one?
it?
Do you remember this thing? It was called the Hyperscan.
Oh yeah, it's the thing that James Rolfe reviewed at one time.
Yeah, so they advertised it a lot on Cartoon Network, and I remember getting one because they had a Ben 10 game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember you told me that.
Dude, I wanted to get that. It's so bad as a kid because it had the Ben 10 game, but my aunt ended up getting the PS2 instead and getting me Naruto and SpongeBob for it.
Wait, are you talking about Naruto Clash of Ninja? Or was there a
No,
Naruto
no,
SpongeBob crossover that I don't know about?
It was Uzumaki Chronicles.
Oh, I remember
for
that one.
Yeah, Uzumaki Chronicles and SpongeBob Atlantis SquarePantas. Those were the first 2 games I ever owned. But I wanted the Hyperscan to play the Ben 10 game.
Also, off topic, actually, no, this is kind of related to Nintendo. When Random said about the Hyperscan, like how the fact that he actually had that piece of crap console, I kind of was thinking about like how I knew this person in my friend Katie's server. How like, so we were talking about Zelda, and you know what this guy actually said?
What?
He said that his first Zelda games was actually the CDI games. I'm not even kidding, like, he legit said that. I was like, wait, what? Your first Zelda game were those things? I'm so sorry. He's like, yeah, man, I'm serious. So, like, that's
Those games are bad, but like I love them because of all the YouTube poops from back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
That's a big oof if those are your first Zelda games.
I've never thought in my entire life I've ever met a person who actually said that and actually admitted it. It's like saying, like, my first console was the Atari Jaguar. It's like, oh,
Okay,
God.
at least that's not as bad as like the Legend of Zelda cartoon being like your first exposure to the franchise, I guess.
Cartoons.
I think like that's not the worst, but like exposure to like the CDI games, yeah, I think that's like the worst like introduction.
At least the CDI games are like funny to me. Like the cartoon was just boring and annoying.
I thought the Super Show was better.
Yeah, because they had pasta puns. The Zelda show didn't have shit.
Not all the time.
And also, yeah, Captain Lou Albano.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, if you don't watch the Super Mario Bros. Super Show, you'll turn into a Goomba.
Or you go to hell before you die.
Like, he had like a freaking 1920s handlebar mustache.
I love how we're just like talking about this and not just like discussing some of the things Nintendo's done.
This is how a podcast works. If you're trying to have a topic, chances are...
I was just gonna say, like, people made podcasts because they can't afford therapy, but that one works.
Yeah. Or ADHD. It's hyperactive cousin.
God damn it. But yeah, no, like, since you brought up, like, Pikmin 3 earlier, Shane, like, there's, like, that's one of the things that I'm really pissed off with Nintendo is, like, how they're essentially, like, they're, like, re-releasing a Wii U game. You can get for either $20 or $30, and they're charging them for $60.
Yeah, like, me and Random had this conversation, because, like, remember when that one 3D Nintendo Direct happened? They were, like, showing, like, a re-release of Skyward Sword on Switch?
I saw saw through the bullshit right away. I saw through that bullshit.
Yeah, no, like me, Random, and Jacob were watching that direct. Random, you were like really upset when we were actually watching that. Like you actually pointed out a lot of the big problems that announcement showed.
Because if you look at like the Skyward Sword like HD remake, because if you look at the Wind Waker HD, Twilight Princess, Ocarina of Time on the 3DS, and Majora's Mask, they definitely had graphical overhauls. They added new stuff. There's new features. I think the best remake was probably the Wind Waker one because they added more stuff.
And like it was so good, you don't even have to go back to the original.
Yeah, but like this one, it looks like they changed no features. They added this new thing where you can play on the controller, but it's no B button. You have to use the right analog stick to use the sword, and that's stupid.
And like here's the thing, like so you're telling me I have to like have my right thumb on the B button and my left thumb on the analog stick? I look like an idiot doing that. Like why can't you just let us have the B button? Like yeah, it's like we want to keep the spirit of the motion controls. But like here's the thing, Skyward Sword's one of those games where you don't really need the motion controls at all. You could just easily just use like any other regular Zelda game. Like come on.
You could have controlled it, but like I think that's the problem with like the original Skyward Sword because Skyward Sword was made for the Wii.
There comes a point where certain Wii games don't really need the whole gimmick of motion controls. Like you might think,
okay,
well,
what's the point? I'm just gonna say I played Skyward Sword with the motion controls as a kid when it came out. I fucking love that game. I've never had a problem with the motion controls in that game. I don't understand why so many people have a problem with the motion controls.
No, it was good for the time. But like doing it now.
You could have just easily just had another option to just swing your sword at the B button. Cause like chances are most people
they don't give you the option to do that?
No, like at first I thought they were gonna do that, but there's like, oh, you hold the B button and you like control the right analog stick. But it's like again, if that's the case, then I'm gonna have like my right thumb on the B button and my left thumb messing around with the analog stick. It looks like I'm like controlling weird. Like it doesn't look right.
Now I know how Ricky Berwick feels when he plays video games. Also, like graphic-wise, they just took the Vaseline on the original and just wiped it off. That's it.
Yes, like at least we're like again, like you said, like the Wind Waker remake, like it looks beautiful and like they actually added stuff on the textures and everything. It looks so amazing. The same thing with like the Twilight Princess HD, like they made it nicer, gave it new texture. But this, it just feels as if like it just got like a Wii ROM, just polish it. And that's really it.
Yeah, and also they added new features to like those games too.
Honestly, I wouldn't be shocked if like Skyward Sword HD is basically a stolen emulator from like a ROM website.
We'll get to that. We'll get that in a bit, but here's the biggest sin.
With like the Mario All-Stars pack, like
that's what I said.
Well, you almost said.
Oh god, the Mario All-Stars collection. I was like, I loved the games in that collection, but the collection itself was a huge letdown.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that they fixed some textures, but I was playing Mario 64, I noticed that some textures were still badly pixelated.
It feels like, and I think Scott said it best, it's like, it feels like they just half-assed the effort with these remasters. It's they could have easily done to Mario 64 and Mario Sunshine what they did with like Wind Waker HD and just like give these two games like quality of life improvements, like that issue with the controls of Mario 64, the camera, or like with Mario Sunshine get rid of some of the bugs and like actually add like a blue point.
I get they wanted to get it ready for the 35th anniversary, but I think they should have planned like ahead of time because this feels like oh, I forgot our anniversary, here's something I put together.
You know, it feels like you forget your wedding anniversary, so you buy your wife like one of the shitty like plastic squirt guns they have on the racks at CVS.
Yeah, but I know that like another thing, and this was brought up by somebody who actually like really vented about how much he was pissed off with how much of a scam the Mario All-Stars collection was, that they actually released Galaxy in HD like a couple years back officially, and in that version you can actually use the right stick to control like the Star Rod, and like then have to like point the Joy-Con on your controller. Really
stupid, because like the thing is, like how the Mario Galaxy gonna work, because you know it's a Wii game, and like honestly the only time I ever used like the motion controls for Galaxy was just shooting the star bits, right?
No,
and, like grabbing those little stars too.
No, but it's like the thing is, and then like the Nvidia Shield version, like with like the star pointer, you can use the right stick for everything. But like with the Switch, but like with Mario All Stars, like you have to point your controller at the TV just to move the star rod. Like I had to play the game I played the whole game on my tablet, but it's like it was also inconvenient where like you had to like use the touch screen just to get the star rod got to work because of like that little inconvenience. Like it actually got me killed in some levels because of it.
Like again, they could just easily just have it. Like, can't you just like have a setting where to turn off the motion controls or the gyro controls, what they're calling it now? Because no one's gonna use it for a console like this, especially for people who have pro controllers
or are in handheld mode.
Yeah, I like to play my Switch with the Pro controllers. It's mainly because like Joy-Cons are too small for my big ass Bigfoot hands, so I use the Pro controller more. But I just thought it was annoying that I had to move the controller around. Like it looked as if like I'm trying to control it drunk.
Speaking of the Joy-Con controller, let's talk about. Oh my god. So I actually have a story regarding the Joy-Con drift issue.
Do tell, boy.
So last year, like I was actually experiencing some drift, but like it got to a point where like I couldn't even turn on the Switch without the stick just automatically like going down and like refusing to let me press it up. Like I actually had to call Nintendo for repair. This was in July of last year, and they told me, "Oh yeah, we'll be sending you an email like within 30 minutes." Like I have yet to receive that email. Like I called them again in October, and like they did the same thing. And it's like I remember like a couple months ago, like I called them again and I asked them, "Hey, why am I not getting my email?" They basically said to me like, "Oh yeah, the Joy-Con drift, that's your problem, not ours."
Oh, that's so. Oh, dude, I'm so sorry.
No, it's like apparently everybody who's been having Joy-Con drift issues, like Nintendo's basically been pulling this. Oh yeah, that's your problem. Who cares?
They literally were like, "Yo, get wrecked."
Or like they always say, just get a Pro controller, you poor piece of shit.
Yeah, but here's the thing, like not everyone can afford a Pro controller.
Yeah, those things are like way overpriced.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah,
oh, that's another thing.
Like, I eventually got my Pro controller, like, I think probably a few months after I got my Switch. And, like, even back then, that was another thing, is, like, the Switch, it's a good console, but when it first came out, they made some really dumb decisions, like having one game. Because, like, I remember when I first got the Switch, only game they had at the time was Breath of the Wild. Like, it took them a long-ass time to actually have more game on the Switch, and now it's like, oh yeah, what was up with that?
Another thing with like analog drift, like I started experiencing it like last year, so I'd be like, alright, it's whatever, it only happens like once in a while. I'm just trying to select the game and I would have to fight to like just start my game up for like 5 minutes.
Oh my fucking god, me too. It's like, and I even did everything, like I even did like alcohol and the Q-tip trick that like a lot of people have been doing to like remedy the issue, and like it would just like fix it for a couple of days, and then like the stick would just make it difficult again. Like I can't, like I've been having difficulties playing Scott Pilgrim recently, where it's like I'm trying to go to the right, but like for no reason the stick would just like force Scott to go to the left. Like I had to like physically fight with the controller just to actually get him move on.
Your goes left, mine goes down.
Yeah.
You know what sucks too? Is the fact that, you know, people had those Switch lights.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's bad about that is the fact that if they were gonna complain about the drifting, they had to get rid of their entire console, because like the Joy-Cons are practically attached to that thing, so that's not fair for them.
Yeah, no, it's like there goes $200 down the drain when you have that, especially like if you buy the Switch Lite brand new and like you automatically get that issue.
Yeah, this thing that sucks more is I was watching a Digital Gamer video about drifting, which is a really good video. I recommend it.
Mm-hmm.
And like, it sucks that the way Nintendo feels, it just feels as if like they're not gonna fix the problem, because like if they constantly like have it where, oh, we'll just give us extra money, we'll either fix it or let you have another one. It's like no matter what, they're just gonna make money, so they're not gonna fix it because, hey, this whole drifting thing can make us money.
No, it's like apparently like the Joy-Con sticks, like they're like made out of some really cheap plastic from what some people actually discovered.
And you know what's so funny about the Switch controller?
What?
Yeah.
Okay, so when you were a child and you had like say the GameCube, everyone sometimes the GameCube would do that one thing where it I guess it was precursor to drifting, where like you control by itself.
Okay.
Like the thing about that is, you know what you can do to fix that?
Mm-hmm.
You can just unplug the controller and then plug it back in, and it works perfectly. But the Joy-Cons, you can't do that. Like there's no way to do that. You're just stuck with that forever.
Yeah, nothing you can do can happen. Like even like those replacement Joy-Con sticks that you can get off of Amazon that like quote unquote fix the problem, even they eventually start drifting themselves. It's like, why couldn't they use like fucking GameCube sticks for the Joy-Cons, honestly?
These controllers, like the way they're doing this tactic, or like the way they're aging.
Yeah, no, because I have friends with fucking GameCube controllers from like back when the fucking things launched, it still worked.
Yeah, exactly. And like I have NES controllers for my dad, and like these NES controllers still look really good. Like it's like impressive. And like I know for a fact that it's 30 years when the Switch is old, like future generations will be like, wow, these controllers suck now. It's like, yeah. I know for a fact that my NES controllers will still be alive even after 100 years.
Or like my Wii nunchucks, like that's another thing that's like still gonna work for me years from now.
Yeah, like the Wii remote, like I still have mine, and like I still think that the motion controls still work well. Like no matter where I'm sitting at, it works perfectly.
Yeah, no, like with my Wii remotes, like they've been through so much abuse. Like sometimes, like I would have like friends or like family like accidentally throw the Wii remotes like against the wall, and like they still work fine. But it's like with the Joy-Cons, it's like no matter what you do, like you're always gonna have like this fucking drift issue. And like Nintendo just having this BS saying like, yeah, this is your problem, not ours. It's like that kind of pisses me off, honestly.
I can't believe I'm doing this. At least with Microsoft, when people got Red Ring of Deaths, they were like, all right, send it in, we'll give you a new one.
Then it got to a point where it's like, hey, get this new Xbox. This one actually works.
Yeah.
And it's like, at least with that one, like, it's not forever. Unlike the drifting, which I feel as though it's gonna be forever until either someone actually goes up there and actually demands some fit changes, or we're just stuck with this forever.
The Switch is in its 4th year now, and they haven't even fixed this fucking issue.
Like, here's the thing. I wouldn't mind if it was like a problem for like probably a year. Like, okay. I mean, granted, they should have like taken care of this in the first place, but whatever. But the fact that it's been 4 years, which, by the way, I'm surprised that the Switch is that old. It just feels like it came out brand new like a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
You guys still not fixing this? Like, you could do something about it.
But no, the best option Nintendo gives is like either you send it for repairs and you don't hear back from them, or
and the Switch still has games that are doing fucking excellent for it. So it's not like the console's gonna stick around for longer, and Nintendo has no reason to fix the problem because shit isn't built to last so that these companies can drain fucking money from their customers. It's sick.
Another one is Pokemon. Definitely Pokemon. So, you know Pokemon Bank on the 3DS, so you can like store your Pokemon, transfer it to like your other ones, but like they have this new thing where you gotta pay for Pokemon Home and then pay for this new one where like you gotta transfer them, but it only works on like games like Sun and Moon and stuff, and you gotta pay like a shit ton of money just to get them on there. It's bullshit.
So it only works for the old game, for the new games, I mean?
Yeah, just so you can transfer your Pokemon.
It's so stupid. Like, what's the point doing that?
And even storing them.
You're shitting me. You have to pay money just to store your fucking Pokemon from like years ago.
Yeah.
And is it like a thing where you have to pay it monthly?
Yes.
That's the stupidest thing ever. Like, that's gonna make people not do that. Like, yeah, you might love your Pokemon, but like, no one's gonna be that desperate to keep them. Like, I'll just probably get new ones.
No, you'd be surprised because the Pokemon market, they thrive off of that.
Oh my god.
And they know this. So this was done on purpose.
They're stupid and they're like, well, they'll do anything.
This kind of reminds me like the same shit Nintendo's doing with like their online service, which funny story.
Yeah.
Remember the Nintendo leak we had like a while ago? Apparently it's been discovered that like Nintendo's online services were running off of Windows 98.
Yeah, I remember that. I thought that was hilarious. Like, at first I thought like that was like some sort of like 4chan joke, but no, it's real.
Yeah, and like the thing that makes it more scummy is like you're paying for this shitty Wi-Fi service.
It's like, is it really that hard to fix it?
Wait, I saw that and I thought it was a joke article. Legitimately.
No, like it was actually discovered that Nintendo's online services run off of Windows 98.
How the hell is that
fucking ridiculous. That is sick. That is sickening that they're having people pay for that. That's
like, don't most PCs like that do that thing where they can't run a newer technology?
No, it's like Sony and Microsoft are using like their newer technology to like make their their online gaming work, and like Nintendo's using like outdated technology from like decades ago, and like they have the gall to charge $20 for it. It's like, and this is also another issue connected to it. It's like the fucking NES and Super Nintendo collection.
Oh my god. Like, I feel so like with what they did with that, I feel like it's the equivalent of getting crappy gifts from your aunt. Like, yeah, they're nice, but at the same time, a lot of them like suck. And no. I always said this. It's more like the equivalent of getting a bag of exotic jelly beans. Like, yeah, you have all these like delicious flavors where it's like you got some cool games, but then the majority of the bags feel like crappy beans that you're never going to eat because their flavors sucked and they don't taste good.
I feel like the best way to describe like the new games that are coming out on like the NES and SNES online is like Nintendo's just going through like games that are being sold at the bargain bins during those times and just go like, yeah, there's your new game, have fun.
It's like, why the hell aren't you not putting out games that were famous on the SNES, like Turtles in Time, or
Zombies Ate My Neighbors.
Yeah, exactly. I never played them, but I like to. I mean, I probably will on my Raspberry. Yeah, that's right, Nintendo. I got this Raspberry that lets me emulate SNES games. I'm gonna play that instead of this thing. You know why?
Yeah, it's like, and I remember like talking to Uncle Al about this. It's like, it's ridiculous. You had to wait like 6 months. Like, you have to wait 6 months for because he told me this. You have to wait it took like each 6 months just to have all 3 of the Donkey Kong Country games on the collection. It's like Donkey Kong Country 1, 6 months later you get DKC 2, and then 6 months later you get DKC 3. It's like you could have released these games on the same day.
I was just saying, like, they could just upload that, like, put them on the thing on the exact same day, like, for an anniversary. Like, why the hell did I have to wait 6 months for all the games? And it's like, okay, now, can you give us SimCity and Mario RPG and Earth?
Mario RPG, there's no excuse that it should be on there by now.
Yeah, and it's like, I get it, because, like, oh, well, they're owned by Square. It's like, I don't give a shit. Here's this thing, Square. I don't care what excuse they have. We don't care. Put the game on the freaking thing, you idiots.
No, like, they got the Final Fantasy games on there, and Nintendo and Square Enix are cool.
Yeah, exactly.
So they should have it on there.
As for games that, like, weren't made for Nintendo, just publish them, like, okay, so if Nintendo's publishing all these stupid bargain bin games that no one doesn't care about, then can they do that for, like, other games that people actually care about, like Turtles in Time, or what's another non-SNES game made from Nintendo?
Like the licensed Konami and Capcom games are like really great examples of like SNES classics. Like
yeah, and like Castlevania 4 is on the SNES Online, so it's like, how about Turtles in Time? Like, you really think Nickelodeon's going to attack Nintendo? You're not going to do that.
Here's another stupid excuse. So Super Mario RPG, Earthbound, they were on the Wii and Wii U Virtual Shop,
and they were also on the SNES Mini.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, so it shouldn't be an issue.
And if they say, like, well, it's kind of dumb to have the same game on different consoles, like, well, it's a good thing, you idiot. Like, you should definitely put those old games on newer consoles each time.
You did it before, why not do it again?
Yeah, like, listen, I'll tell you one thing. I have Zelda on multiple versions. I have it on the original cartridge from my daddy, then I have it on the Wii, then I have the Wii U, now I have it on the 3DS. Like, I don't give a damn. Give my games.
I guess that's another thing to bring up because... Okay, so here's a funny story since you brought up, like, playing your old games on, like, the Raspberry Pi, Shane, like...
Yes. Yeah.
So, remember, like, how people often recommend, like, playing your old games that you can't find on, like, new consoles off, like, emulators?
Yeah.
Half of those games are now lost, and guess whose fault is that?
Nintendo. I mean, thankfully, a lot of those people have archived those, so they're doing... So, to anyone who ever does emulators or ROMs of GameCube games, you're doing God's work, and God bless you, because you're doing people a huge favor. And Nintendo, you guys suck, and if you think that you're ever gonna get rid of them, they're never gonna go away.
No, it's just...
The people who own it don't care about them. If you're gonna do it, you're doing really good thing.
Yeah.
No, it's like the thing that bothers me. It's like Nintendo's not even making money off of these old games anymore. Why would they even care to like people want to play their old games off of like emulators? But it's like no, they always have to like make a big fuss about it. Like the companies like them or Sony are saying to like we're playing these games illegally, but it's like
maybe if you guys actually release these old games on your newer consoles for free, we wouldn't be doing this, because what other choice do we have, man? A lot of these old games we grew up with, so it's like we don't want to stop playing them. Like, I love Luigi's Mansion. Like, I would never want to stop playing that game, and it sucks because Nintendo is not going to make a GameCube Online, which they should.
Also, you're better off using an emulator because sooner or later those old systems are going to die out, and it's like...
And that's the thing, like, all my old GameCube consoles, I kind of don't play that many. Sometimes on rare occasions, because if I keep playing them, they're gonna deteriorate and get destroyed. So it's like, that's another reason why I prefer ROMs, because I can play that forever without the fear of not playing the game. Like, that's the reason why I bought the Mario All-Stars pack, was solely because of Mario Sunshine. I was like, I want to play Mario Sunshine forever, because I was scared that, like, what if my copy breaks and I have to buy another one? And like, trying to buy older games is very risky because they're always like $100 or $40. It's like, you're not worth that price.
And they might be scratched, the discs.
Yeah, exactly, Jinx. So that's why people like to do ROMs. And also, it's really sad how, like, these ROMs from these modders put more effort than the ROMs from the All-Stars pack, because, like, you see how these people clean up the graphics, clean up any bugs, and fix any minor shadow glitches or anything to make it nicer to... I was watching my friend Katie play Twilight Princess on the GameCube, and she got it on the emulator, and, like, emulator was clean and it looked nice.
Oh, the Dolphin. Yeah, the Dolphin's good.
Yeah. I think she used something else, but it was still the same thing, so it's like, it was really nice how they actually cleaned up the game. It's like whenever people emulate PS1 games and actually make it not so pixely looking.
It's amazing what you can do with computers these days.
I feel like the thing that's more hypocritical is, like, Nintendo's against, like, ROM sites, but, like, they're stealing and selling games from those ROM sites for $60, like what they did with Mario All-Stars. And
so it's like, it's not okay when we do it, but when you do it, it's perfectly fine.
Okay, who wants to go first on ripping Mario 3D All-Stars a new one? Because I have, like, a lot of things I want to complain about.
Alright, I'll be quick. Not that much. It's basically what you already know. They could have easily just did everything with it. They could have, like, updated textures. Like, I get it if it's like a port, it can be easily accessible, but also the $60 price, just so you can, like, sell it, take it off the market, and then have, like, a bunch of scalpers do it. It's a fucking shitty business practice, and scummy how you would treat, like, Mario like this. And also, when I'm playing it,
Yeah,
like, I'd rather...
Look at how they massacred our boy.
Yeah, and also, I'm playing through Sunshine and also Galaxy. I'm like, I'd rather be playing this on the GameCube, because I don't feel like they work really well on, like, the Nintendo Switch controllers. Because, like, they were made for the... like, their respective systems.
Yeah, I know.
With Sunshine, I don't really mind, because, like, the Pro Controller is like a GameCube controller to me, so I'm like, okay, fine, but, like, it's just Galaxy. I'm like, it feels weird.
Yeah, like, they didn't get rid of the whole motion controls thing. Imagine if you want to play, like, in, like, handheld mode, but you still gotta, like, touch the screen, and I'm very against, like, touching my Nintendo Switch screen. And I'm like, yo, fuck you, I don't want to do that shit. Also, Nintendo, can you please stop adding motion controls on the Switch? Like, you're not good at it at all.
Yeah, it's
That's like, did you not realize that those were the worst shrines in Breath of the Wild, you bastards?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's like, it was cool in the first year, but it's like, nobody...
It was never cool. It was only cool in the Wii.
No, it's like, it was alright for the... No, it's like, let me say it. It's like, it was alright for the first year, but, like, the third parties don't even use, like, the motion controls in a lot of their games. But it's like, for some reason, it's like, Nintendo keeps insisting on them. And how you brought up earlier, Random, it's like... Mario Sunshine, I was having a miserable time playing it with the Joy controller, but like when I started playing it with the GameCube controller, like I had a much better time playing it. Like I actually enjoyed my time with Sunshine more when I was playing it with the GameCube controller.
Yeah, and they could have like definitely updated how it's played, how it's controlled for like modern audiences, but they didn't. And also, I know people like shit on like the price, and then people were like, all right, it's kind of okay because it's like $20 a game, but like seeing what we got, I can definitely see why people were trashing on that price, because they literally did jack shit to it. And also, it's like at this point, it's like no, because like Mario 64 was $10 on the Wii U, so it's like why even bother with this price if you're just gonna do crap like that?
You know what's like really depressing? You know, like Capcom or like how Konami like re-release like old Mega Man or like Contra and Castlevania games, like,
or like them releasing like Resident Evil 1 and Resident Evil 4 on like every system.
No, like I'm talking about like the Mega Man collections or like Castlevania collections, where like they have 8 to 10 games in one disc or like one cartridge, and like they're being sold for $20.
Yeah,
and they have like these quality of life updates, and like a lot of like they let you watch concept art, like the design documents and like even like behind the scenes of how these games are made.
Yeah,
and, like,
the only feature that the All Stars pack had was just like, oh, you can listen to the music. But it's like, why would I listen to a music on a console, you idiot?
yeah, like you could just easily listen to that music off of YouTube. Which, funny enough, like when the game came out, like they were shutting down YouTube channels that had all the OSTs for those games like within a day.
Dude, one time, so I'm OCD and I like to make my own playlist for certain video games, and like I once made a playlist for Mario Kart Double Dash, and like I was like, I'm in the mood to listen to some Mario Kart Double Dash music. I went to my playlist and all the songs were gone. So I'm like, what the heck happened? And I'm like, did Nintendo like force the guys to delete his videos or something? So it's like I had to like find another channel that uploaded Mario Kart Double Dash music and like added it all again, bastards.
I don't know what it is with Nintendo, like when just like people wanting to play their old games, but it's like they just have to make it so difficult for people to just like play their old games. It's like, I swear to God, like if Capcom or Konami were to do this kind of stunt, they would get shit all over for this. But like Nintendo, like they did this with Mario All-Stars, and like all game journalists were giving this game like a perfect 8 or like a 10 out of 10 like at launch.
I thought it was like they were doing that thing where it's like, these games are actually really hard. It's like, you gotta get good at the game, screwed up.
No, like there were some actual game critics who were like giving the, like this collection like a perfect scores of like to launch, and it's like this collection put barely any effort into like the games, and like why is it when Nintendo does it it's okay, but when everybody else does it, it's like automatic. Like you automatically trash all over them for this.
It's like having a family of a bunch of kids, and you have that one kid who's basically a spoiled child, and everyone else is perfectly fine. But the parents like, need some people like this kid. It's like, that kid's a spoiled brat, you asshole.
Would it have taken Nintendo so much time and energy to put in Mario 64 DS, Galaxy 2, and 3D Land onto this collection? Like that could have at least justified the $60.
You know, I'm surprised that people were upset about Galaxy 2, because I always thought that people hated Galaxy 2.
I don't know,
No,
I
but
thought
it's
people liked it when it came out.
Yeah,
but it's like, yeah, they
could've-
should have done that.
Yeah, they could have just added more than Galaxy 2. Like, where's Mario 64 DS? Where's Super Mario 3D Land? Like, why aren't they on the collection?
Yeah, like, also, I always notice another thing is that Nintendo never puts effort on minor things, which they really should. Like, you know, like, I think a month later, they actually had that one All-Stars pack from the SNES on the SNES Online, and it's like, it's not the version that comes with Mario World, and I'm like, kind of bummed because, like, that's the version that has Luigi's correct sprite art. So it's like, every time I want to play a Mario game on the SNES, I'm like, I gotta play the one with Green Mario, that's kind of boring. Like, they could have just had, like, update, like, you really think people are gonna miss the version where you just have Luigi as Green Mario? No, just, like, give us that version, please.
It's another thing I want to discuss. And
I know it's stupid, but it's like, come on, like, you could have done that.
You know, it's like another thing that's kind of like in common regarding like the Mario 35th anniversary, and like this is one thing I want to praise like a company like Sega for. It's like, remember AM2R?
Who?
Another Metroid 2 remake.
Oh, I remember that. Like didn't Nintendo like shut down that company?
No, it's like this guy from 2002 up until 2017 worked his ass off to make like this gorgeous remake to Metroid 2, and Nintendo like automatically files a DMCA on him. It's like he wasn't even charging this. No, like he wasn't even charging this game for money. It's like anytime somebody does like a fan game based off Nintendo's products, like anything like fan related, like a fan game or fan cartoon or anything, it's like Nintendo just like files a DMCA on them.
And it's stupid because it's like, why are you gonna do that to your fans when like they're trying to honor the game? Like, that's kind of stupid.
Sorry to say that, like, the fan-made remake of Metroid 2 was better than the official remake that you guys were saying on the 3DS. It's like, I'm not saying that, like, it's bad, but it's like the Metroid 2 remake that, like, this one guy made for almost, like, a decade. It felt like a true love letter, but it's like the one that Nintendo made, like, there were, like, some janky issues with it, and it's like, that's ridiculous. Like,
I feel like that's like whenever you're trying to give a gift to like your person you fell in love with, like you put all this effort and then like the person's just like, I don't really want this gift, thank you, get out. You're just like,
yeah.
I spent all my money on this. Well,
it's like the ending of Rhapsody Street Kids when it's like, I gave you a real gift and you didn't see it or whatever.
No, it's like, you might be smart with books, but you sure are stupid. I gave you a real gift, and you don't get it.
Yeah, it's exactly like that.
That's actually my favorite line in that whole movie.
Yeah, because it
My
comes out of
favorite
nowhere.
line was whenever the grandma would speak, and it was...
Oh, he was like, oh, for an elephant. Oh, it creates.
I find it funny though that's like Nintendo's just like screwing over their fans, but it's like, and this is something I want to give Sega props for. You know, like a lot of these old franchises like Streets of Rage 4, like Panzer Dragoon, or Alex Kidd making like these huge comebacks. All of these were made by fans.
Yes, that's always bothered me too, is whenever Nintendo always acts like all their other IPs are dicks. You guys are making them dead. Like the fact that, where's my Pikmin 4?
Where's Star Tropic Stray?
And where's Star Fox? Like, come on, like stop trying to let these IPs be dead. Like they have potential to make more games. Like a Pikmin 4 would be awesome. Seriously.
Or like a new F-Zero, like made by the people who've been making like those Neo racing games that are on Wii U.
I'm dying for F-Zero because I'm a huge fan of F-Zero.
I mean, I'm not like big on in the Metroid, but it's like it'd be nice if they had like some more Metroid game.
That would be nice too.
Or like a new Wario.
Just sounded like you said Metroid.
No.
Or like a new Wario Land game for.
Or a Wario World 2, pretty please.
I like that idea.
I love Wario World.
Yeah, give us a sequel to Wario World and like have it be made by the fans.
Also, you better do more stuff with.
Give us like a billion more Kirby games. Just make more Kirby. I want more.
No, make more Kirby games, make them actually challenging and not boring, because, like, I'm sorry, but, like, the latest Kirby game, the one on Switch, that one sucked.
I want a 3D Kirby game.
Wait, so they made a Kirby game and it wasn't challenging?
No, like, I feel so,
It's
like,
not,
that would...
but Kirby games are so, like, that's the fun.
Like, the latest one I played on Switch, it was just boring. I had no fun. It was just like, oh, go here, go there. It was boring. Like, the last Kirby game I had fun with was the 3DS one, Planet Robobot or whatever.
Yeah, that one was fun, and because they did something different.
Yeah, but like I said, the Switch one was just boring.
Also, I kind of want more Star Fox, please, because if they don't give me more Star Fox, I'm gonna perform Star Fox Assault on them.
Also, like, can you make another Mario Kart game with more characters?
Yeah, Gary's gonna take them for a Star Fox adventure tied up in his trunk.
Yeah. If you don't, like, meet my demands, you're gonna be Star Fox Zero.
This is why I've been telling everyone, my friends of the podcast, is we just need to get some caveman mouths and beat the crap out of some Hyros, because they're the ones who are having all these stupid ideas.
I love Nintendo, but it's like, there are some things that they really do that just gets under my skin, and
it's all the fucking bullshitty business side of it that really...
It's like they never acted like this before. It's like, I don't know why you're doing this now. And you think that, like, oh,
like, it's been ever since the new guy was put in charge when
Bowser?
Yeah, when Iwata done it.
Yeah, honestly, I feel so, like, hopefully, like, something bites him in the ass. I'm like, okay, let's get back to being actually good again.
Also, things went to shit when Reggie left.
It feels like ever since the guy that they got in charge of, like, Iwata, like, a couple years after he passed away, just, I don't know what it is, but this guy just, like, reeks of, like, I just only care about money and that's it. And it's just, like, Iwata, he was nothing like that, but it's, like, this guy is just, like, I don't know what it is, but it's just, like...
It just sucks. Honestly,
yeah, he sucks.
I feel so... This guy's old. Actually, oh, wait, he doesn't look that old. Damn, I was gonna say, he's gonna probably die someday.
He just recently turned 49, like, a couple months ago.
Shit.
Heart attack.
Like, just get, like, an early... Oh, my God. What if... Do you think, like, if this guy actually dies, like, people watch this podcast, like, oh, it's a little outdated, don't you say? It's like, no, it's not.
No, I think we're gonna be on some sort of watch list if something happened.
Yeah, they're gonna think like I'm gonna watch this, where it's like, oh, this Shane fella's talking about like beating up higher ups with caveman mouths. Like, I think he actually did something for us. Like, no, I just said I thought it'd be funny.
Then what's that in the back?
Nothing.
You're coming with me.
It's just a Flintstones problem. It's just a Flintstones problem. No.
Listen, I was at the Flintstones like Fruity Pebbles convention.
What's in Fruity Pebbles?
It's just like, and I think like somebody said it best. It feels like ever since the Switch has made Nintendo like $1 billion corporation, they've been turning into like, they're starting to show signs of becoming like the Disney of the video game industry.
I hope not.
It feels like the best days of the Wii U was like its launch years, and then everything afterwards is just like old games coming to the Switch. It's like, or like when we do get the new games, like some of them feel like they have no effort put into them. It's like, I feel like the last game that felt like there was so much effort put into it was like Animal Crossing New Leaf, and everything afterwards was just, I don't know, it just felt shallow.
Yeah, and also, I think the biggest problem I have with, like, Nintendo now is how they price things. Like, they still charge full price for, like, games that were on launch, like, and even ports for games that came out almost, like, 10 years ago.
And they never, like, decrease the price over time. Like, they still keep it the same price.
No, but it's like, with the Wii and the Wii U era, it's like, if the game's been on stores for like 3 or 4 years, they immediately get dropped down to like $20, and it's like, they could have easily brought back the Nintendo Selects line for the Switch, like Mario Odyssey or Breath of the Wild, or like, you know what's like a game that really pissed me off that they were charging $60 for?
What?
The Link's Awakening remake.
That doesn't deserve to be.
Like, listen, yeah, it looks nice, but all in all, no matter what, it's a remake of a Game Boy game.
Yeah, it's like,
it looks nice, but still, it's a And you know why they do it? Because I know for a fact that people are going to forget that it's a Game Boy remake. That's why they did, because like, oh, not everyone's gonna remember that. It's like, yeah, they are.
It's like, yeah, it's like the thing that pisses me off, though, and it's regarding like the whole shit they're doing with like the scalp, like enabling scalpers and whatnot. It's just like, with Nintendo, they have this mindset where like, if they sell their games below $60, they'll think that like the consumers will see it as like the game is like they're cheapening out on their games, and it's like,
that's so stupid. Like, no one's gonna think that.
They think, oh no, they'll lose money. No, that makes more people want to buy them if you lower the price.
Yeah, but it's like, what sucks is that they're not gonna do that, because it's like, people are still gonna give us money no matter what, so they're not even gonna try to like decrease the price or whatever, because it's like, why bother? To them.
So to everyone out there, quit being a filthy consumer.
Yeah, quit. Don't be movie Bob.
Yeah, what sucks is the fact that like the majority of people that's like common, while people like us like are uncommon, which I kind of wish it was the other way around.
Are you saying we're not like the other consumers?
No, I'm saying like the people who like don't care about this kind of crap are like
normies.
We're just like, hey, we're in the minority.
Shane's a proper man. He's dissing on those filthy commoners.
I just want to find an excuse to say normies.
It's like,
they're normal people. We gotta hide from them. Yeah, they think we're ugly.
I would be happy to pay you my money if you weren't charging this shit for $60. Like, I would happily buy the Link's Awakening remake, or Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze a second time, or hell, like Pikmin 3, which didn't, because I remember like someone said that like the Switch version of Pikmin 3, like they didn't update anything for this one, did they?
Really? I remember they actually did, and I think they actually added some stuff to it.
I heard that like they added all the DLC from the Wii U game, and that's it.
I think they also added a thing where you can play as Olimar and Louie. I think. Us, Nintendo, bring back Claymation promotional art, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, I missed that stuff. That was cool.
Too.
Just company, start doing more claymation and stop motion stuff in general.
Yeah,
yes, please.
Also, cool looking, people always like it.
Also, Nintendo, just do what Sony and Microsoft are doing, where like when their games are like a year old, they start selling them for $20, because like I feel that will make more money than like keeping them at $60. Like, this is ridiculous.
Hell,
honestly.
do you know who's good at that? Steam and PlayStation.
Yeah, like Steam's the best with that, especially.
They give you a wide variety of like games that came out years ago, and like they have price drops. Even for like AAA games.
You can sometimes buy a game for just a penny.
But like, and I guess this is one thing I want to give praise to the third party studios. Like, whenever like companies like Ubisoft or Sega or Capcom would usually do like their sales on like the eShop, or like when their game, they'll just like drop the price of the Switch versions of like to like an affordable price. Like a while ago, Mario and Rap, the full game, was being sold at $10.
Damn, $10.
Like, also, as much as I hate the rabbits, that's a good game still.
Yeah.
I have a soft spot for rabbits because I'm a dork.
Yeah,
not gonna lie,
you
like
you are the kind of person who would like the rabbits.
The hell is that supposed to be, you little bitch?
I know this one.
It doesn't mean anything derogatory, certainly.
I know this one person that I'm mutuals with on Twitter. Like she's a huge fan of the rabbits, and like I think I showed you her work before. Like she's the girl who does like a lot of the Cuphead art. As much as I enjoy Nintendo, they do some shit that really pisses me off, and like I'm worrying that this might get worse, honestly. The last thing I want Nintendo to do is like they pull like some really scummy corporate decisions, like what EA or Activision does on a daily basis.
Mm-hmm.
I just hope they get caught and get back to being good, so like to teach them a lesson.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Also,
that's
Nintendo fans.
That's what most companies need, just a good lesson.
Yeah. Also,
Kick in the
this
ass.
definitely needs to be listened to by Nintendo fans. Nintendo fans, don't give in to them, no matter what.
And if
Oh,
you don't
and
believe
speaking
us,
of
just
things
look
that
for
need to be
yourself.
listened to, I have something to plug this week. My friend Cadet released his album Blue Magic. I'm going to have CatBit put that in the description. It's really good. It's a future funk album.
Future Funk, that's a cool.
Yeah,
Nice.
future funk.
Nice.
Yeah, Cadet's a really nice guy. Listen to his music. It's really great. It's creative stuff.
I'm gonna listen to it later.
It's
Is that-
blue spelled BLU, like a Blu-ray.
Is this everything we have to say about Nintendo?
Yes.
Hell yeah, I'm done.
Also, one more thing. Nintendo, give us more merchandise of some of your games, please. That's all I gotta say.
Also, give us a new Donkey Kong Country, please.
Give me some Luigi's Mansion merchandise.
Yeah, I would love some Luigi's Mansion merchandise.
I want a Chibi-Robo action figure.
Bring back Chibi Robo, please.
I love how we went from like, yo, Nintendo, fuck you too, please give me more stuff.
Like, also,
Nintendo, give me more stuff. I would want more stuff, please.
Ooh
I
woo.
want to have like a cool little Lego set. Actually, no, like a regular figurine of Chiro's house.